The studio with us now, we are joined by the General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, Dr. Blade Nzimande, who also serves as a cabinet minister up to now. Well, we don't know what the future will hold, but as we talk to you this morning, Babu Nzimande, as the General Secretary of the Communist Party, from the party's perspective, what are you looking forward to hear today when the President is taking his oath of office and addresses the nation?
Well, thanks, Dan and Yuveka, and good morning to your viewers and listeners at home. I think that as the SACP, first of all, this is a very important day for the country and for us as part of the alliance, which is the inauguration of President Ramaphosa now in his own right. Of course, he has been president for just under 15 months already, and we already have seen what the ANC, through him as the leader, has actually committed itself to. We're coming from a period where we feel as the SACP, our country, was actually on a brink of reversing the many gains that we've made over the last 25 years. Corruption, state capture, and lots of other problems that we've had. What we are expecting is for President Ramaphosa to actually build on what he has already started. First of all, the Tumamina theme is very important. So as the SACP, as part of that Tumamina, we are not just expecting something from him. We want to be partners. We want to be in the streets, we want to be in the trenches, in the struggle to change the lives of our people for the better. That's what we expect to be the singular focus of this administration. And in doing so, dealing with all the things that were actually taking us back, even including unnecessary tensions, divisions, factionalism in the own ranks of our own alliance. Those are the things that we have to fight if also we are to create a better climate for President Ramaphosa to lead an administration that's going to singularly focus on making the lives of our people better. Let me just say this quickly. One thing that is still stuck in my mind is a lady in the Free State who said to me, when I said, please vote for the ANC, said, no, don't convince me. I've been voting for the ANC since 1994. I'll vote for the ANC. But we are giving it, I'm voting for you for the last time, unless there are significant changes that you're going to make. So our mandate is very clear, and that is what we expect, that we must focus on changing, and every cent must go to the transformation of the lives of our people.
Well, I want to know, Dr. Nzimande, I mean, the catchphrase for today has been New Dawn, everybody talking about the New Dawn. I want to know, just given what we've seen happen over the past week, what we've seen happen with prominent members of the party, including the Deputy President, David Mabuza, and what we've seen happen with him not being sworn in. We've seen certain top-level members with question marks hanging over them, withdrawing themselves from those lists as well. Do you believe that everything you've said now and what is required of Cyril Ramaphosa, that is, are you encouraged by that is a start to what will be better for all South Africans? Are you properly encouraged by that, or is that there's a lot of work to be done still ahead?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the details. We don't have the details as yet as the SACP as to why the Deputy President, other than what we've seen in the media. All what we are hoping is happening is actually a real renewal, as the President is saying, and commitment to do things differently than some of the things we've done in the recent past. So we want everybody's focus to be there. So anyone who feels that he or she may be standing on the way of the progress that we want to make, obviously we will welcome that they actually step aside.
Dr. Nzimande, part of making any progress, some people say, would involve restructuring the government, reconfiguring the government, looking at the administration, things like the size of the cabinet, which the President-elect himself, when he took office last year, referred to as something to be looked into to make the government more effective and efficient. What's the SACP's view?
Our view is that we support any restructuring that will improve the functioning of government and make government to respond better to the challenges that we have. But also it must be a restructuring based on priorities, not just in the air. As the SACP, we're very clear about what should be some of our priorities. You know? We're talking about health, we're talking about education, we're talking about fighting crime and corruption, and including things that are very basic in terms of our services, like water, sanitation, and roads. Those are the things that we should then be saying, if we restructure government, how do we restructure government such that it is able, for instance, to mobilize investment and create jobs as another priority for that matter? So we like a very close link. We don't want an abstract restructuring of government for the sake of it. You can restructure government and have 10 ministers, but what are they going to do? For us, that is what is also going to be very important. That's why we are looking forward to the extended NEC of the ANC, Lekgotla, which is coming in a week's time, to actually look into all those things as well.
And very quickly, before we have to let you go, Dr. Nzimande, you've dealt with Cyril Ramaphosa, the man, for decades. You've now served under him as he's been a president. Just tell us what encourages you about the man, not just the politician, but the man that Cyril Ramaphosa is, and having dealt with him as an employee of his, if I have to put it that way.
Yes, you're right. I've now worked with President Ramaphosa for close on to 30 years. We were together in the multi-party talks, the negotiations, and the constitution. Let me tell you one thing that strikes me about the president, by the way, which I like. One positive thing about him is that he is not afraid to select and work with competent people in pursuing whatever agenda. When he was the Secretary General of the ANC, when he was chairing the Constitutional Assembly during the Constitution, was not scared by people who are competent. One of the problems we have, some of us as leaders, is not to want people who are competent, to be threatened by people who are competent. And the president wants people who are going to say their views, not people who are going to tell you what you want to hear. That I recognize from him way back, and he seems to have actually stuck to that, and I welcome that, because that's how we are going to build a better country, by bringing the best of the ideas and competences that we have to assemble as a country in order to respond better to the many challenges that we face.
Dr. Nzimande, thank you very much for your time. You know, we have a busy day ahead of you, and you spend some time giving us the SACP's views about the significance of the day and your hopes for the future. But we need to get to the stadium now as well and find out what's happening.